Make sure it's recording. Yesterday I recorded a bunch and it didn't record, it just took a picture. So looks like it's recording. Powder coating is finished. They did a good job. And so there it is. So I'm just gonna leave it like that till I get my third member. It should be here. I imagine it'll take a couple weeks for them to build that. I don't know. I have to polish the gears and all that kind of stuff. I actually ordered polished gears with it. So I don't know how long that'll take. As you can see there, I pulled the side of the car back off. And so basically what I'm doing is I'm disassembling the car again, and I'm gonna start epoxy priming and I forgot the other primer. Anyway, but while I'm doing that, getting ready to do that, there's a lot of stuff on here, like this stuff in here. You can see all these. I need to knock this down tighter. I will when it's final fitment. But these are all good. But these right here are way up in there. You can't weld to that. So I'm going to have to section this out and bring these down to where they'll actually suck up tight against this. This one under here is fine. I can't really show you without getting on, laying on my head, but anyway, so went back and remeasured all this. Put your numbers, like when you take this car apart, like I have this right here, like just do a little bit of writing your numbers, all your dimensions, where your braces and all that kind of stuff, and getting the stuff here. I did a whole bunch of this before I pulled the car apart. That way when I put it back together, I know exactly where everything goes. So anyway, do something like that, it'll help you a lot. I actually put in several areas on the car. This is 8 1/8 of an inch from the bottom of this down to here. And so that's where it's sitting right now. That makes it parallel, makes it back where it was. And this is what I was talking about, the primer. I've got to do this for all the welding surfaces, and then I'll, like inside these already, I've already epoxy primed everything, masked this off, then went back in so that these would, basically won't burn all the way up into your epoxy. Saw something the other day. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So, yeah. Just a lot of little stuff that needs to be addressed, and before I start actually sealing this thing up. And so yeah, all these little flanges all have to be weld through primer put on the, you know, inside or whatever, and just stuff like that. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. Getting ready to pull this back off to section that out. I gotta do the same to the other side, and when I slide it back in and make sure everything's right. And then again, the whole top of this car will literally come off, and the whole bottom will drop down onto this, and then I will build a jig, probably something simple that I can actually take the whole top of this car outside and blast all this. A lot of this is light surface rust, probably come right off with something, you know, with my little grinder, but I'll probably end up sandblasting most of this, but that's for another day. So I went back, clamped all this up, made sure everything was where it was supposed to be, moved these around a little bit because they settled a little bit while they were sitting there. Just got to make sure. See, I went and put, you can see I've actually got, and then even holes. This looks like it needs to come down just a little bit. There's a hole there for my pins to go through to where that actually is supposed to stay. There's a hole there. Needs to be moved just a tad, but that's for final adjustment. You know, when I put it back together, I'll make sure all that's in there like it's supposed to be. So yeah, I need to blow this side of the car off. And finding places for all the parts is gonna be tricky. I don't like stepping over stuff, so I'm glad I cleaned the shop up because it was a mess, and now I've got lots of room to just put pieces in the floor. But again, stepping over them, you gotta be careful. You don't want to step on something and bend it. Just cause more work for yourself. So yeah, there's that. Dusty, been sitting for a long time, but I'll clean it up and get it primed up. I haven't decided yet if I want to, when I take the whole floor out, just go ahead and prime it out of the car, just in epoxy, and then put it back in. I know it'll be in and out of the car a lot and it'll get scratched, but it's just epoxy, so it's not that big a deal. Just shoot another coat right back over, or just touch up wherever the area is, because the floor's gonna be covered anyway. Seems like it'd be easier to do out of the car hanging on that rack than it would be to try to get up in there, you know what I'm saying, when it's down like this, since I have the option to do it that way. So I'm kicking that around. This has already been done. This needs to be taken off. I can go ahead and do it. Again, I'm thinking out loud. I got a lot of work to do to this firewall, so I'll probably leave it alone for now. But I can get it welded, all welded in down there. Those all need to be pulled together. You can see where the holes are. Maybe you can see that. So all that needs to be pulled back together tight. So that's kind of where I'm at. Weld through primer, that's what it's called. I know you'd come to me eventually. So, all right, I'm gonna shut the camera off and pull this stuff apart. See ya. All right, so you can see my little girl's out here, so the TV's on, and that's just the way it has to be. I got lots of people complaining about not being able to hear, but that's just the way it is sometimes. If you don't like it, just keep on trucking. There's lots of other videos on Camaro restoration. So what I've done is I went ahead and marked this under here. I know that this is probably 14 gauge-ish, 16 gauge, something like that. So I went ahead and cut these ears completely off, and so that I could get them in there and bend them exactly where they need to be. So they'll be flush up against that basically. And it looks like I need from the inside. I'm trying to figure out exactly how high I need that. Put that in there so that'll line up. These gloves are not helping whatsoever. So it would be somewhere around there probably. Nope, it's gonna be higher. So actually, yeah, it's gonna go all the way to the top. So this one won't come all the way down. So yeah, it needs to go to the top of this. So, and then this one just gonna fit flat under there, so not a big deal. It just needed to come down quite a bit. You saw that they needed to come in. So I cut that area out. So, and I never thought about this thing, to be honest with you. I picked this up, I don't know how long ago, years ago. It's a Walker Blue Boy. It's just like that one over there, that's a Walker roller car. That is an original all mechanical jack, and I bought it and restored it, and I don't use it. It just looks pretty. You got it powder coated and everything, but it's just cool. It's a piece of history. It's patent says it was made patent in 1922, so you know it's golly 100 years old or close to anyway. And then I found this one. It's the same, made by the same company, and Walker was pretty good. Well, I think Walker's like Snap-on would be kind of today. It's missing the handle here, but yeah, it works great. So it's got this little switch here that flips up. You wanna, you know, it's like the old, actually be like that. Now it goes up. But like holding this underneath there to actually push that up where it needs to stay worked out perfect. So I just put it underneath there, put a little block like this here, and then just push it up there the way it doesn't dent your panel. But then I've got that one over there. You can see I've done the same thing, but I don't have two of those, and I thought, well, hell, let me use this. So, you know, I mean, I don't know when these were made. What does that say? Patent, Walker, USA, Series 125. Oh, the patent's right there. This needs to be cleaned up. This is, I'm having a squirrel moment in case you were wondering. Now that says range 10.5 to 17.5, capacity 3 tons. Patents. I can't tell what that is. Anyway, pretty cool. Anyway, using it. You see I got my Jesus shoes on. Haven't been able to walk on water yet, but probably eventually it'll happen. So just stay tuned, and you never know what you're gonna see. If I don't walk on water, there's a good chance I'll drop something heavy on my foot, and that'll be something funny for you to watch. So you're like, I knew it, I knew it. These are my steel-toed safety shoes. You see how this goes. If you don't know, you do now. That has to sandwich in between there, and that goes under and in between. So then you just slide the whole unit out as a whole. I sure don't drop that thing on my foot, but that basically is how that works. So now, just got to figure out how thick that is and see if I took enough off. Looks like I need to take a little bit more off, not a lot, but I can do that with something fine, small. But yeah, this one will go about right like that. I barely need to take out. Matter of fact, I probably won't take anything off because it might melt it. Actually might melt it together, and that needs to go about right there. So whatever's hanging over on the back side will probably get welded and melted in. So I'll just have to tack that up. And then this one here will be, it actually went like that. I may have to take a little bit more off that to get it right up in there. So yeah, so I am going to break out my welder today and get those tacked up, and then we'll probably weld it on and see what the fitment is. It's 5:20, and I need to feed little girly over there, so I may end up having to finish this tomorrow, but I don't know. Anyway, that's kind of what I'm doing today. And so, appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully I'm back for a while. Wife's on vacation, and I didn't really want to go. didn't obviously have somebody has to watch her, so my wife took a solo vacation and she made like 10 friends. She's posting pictures all over Facebook of her and her new friends, so she didn't really need me. That's good to know, right? All right, we'll see you guys. All right, so that worked out pretty good. Looks like I could bend this tab down just a tad more on this side, but that one looks good. That one under there looks good. So those are just tacked in. I'll weld that in and then grind those down, and that ought to, and that probably could come forward just a tad more. I don't know, let me look. It should be 4 inches from here. Yep. So we're right on it. 4 inches from this edge to this here. So looks pretty good. Anyway, so yeah, that's just sitting in there. Again, I'll pull it back out and weld it up, but that's gonna be it for now. And I'll finish this up tomorrow and then get on the other side and get the same thing done. Need to get these to where they were closer. They're so far away, there's no way you're gonna weld to that. So there's an idea of how to fix that if you got that problem, or you know, there's multiple ways you could do it. I'm sure you could mark it and then bend it over, you know, bend the flange over more or whatever, but that's the way I chose to do it. And I can still get to the back sides to go ahead and seal the back sides of the welds up too, so that's good. All right, we'll see you guys.